Shekinah and Sarper officially divorce. A 90-day fiancé shock. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I hope you are well. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. It was a quiet Tuesday morning when the bombshell news broke. Shekinah and Sarper, the fiery couple from 90 Day Fiancé, had officially divorced. Fans of the franchise were stunned. The couple, known for their intense chemistry and just as intense arguments, had always managed to find their way back to each other. Until now. Shekinah, a bold, spiritual and fiercely independent woman from California, had met Sarper, a charismatic and controversial Turkish fitness trainer, during her travels to Istanbul. From the beginning their connection was undeniable. But so were their differences. Shekinah and Sarper were passionate people, said Angela, a close friend of Shekinah. But sometimes passion isn't enough. Sometimes it burns too hot. The divorce filing came after months of speculation. Social media had noticed the two hadn't posted together in over 8 weeks. No Instagram stories. No romantic photos. No cryptic love quotes. Just silence. That silence spoke volumes. Their relationship had always been tumultuous. On the show, viewers had seen them argue about everything, from Sarper's control issues to Shekinah's need for freedom. They fought about clothes, phone passwords, jealousy and lifestyle choices. Shekinah didn't want to be told what to do, one castmate commented. And Sarper didn't know how to stop trying to control her. In one memorable episode, Shekinah had arrived in Istanbul wearing a bold outfit. Sarper, visibly uncomfortable, made a snide comment. "Are you going to a club or meeting my parents?" Shekinah shot back. "This is who I am. If you don't like it, maybe you don't like me." It was raw, real and painful to watch. But despite the tears and confrontations, they always reconciled. Fans had hope. Shekinah and Sarper were like fire and gasoline, one fan tweeted. Dangerous but beautiful. Until it became too dangerous. Off camera things were worse. Shekinah returned to the US after filming ended. Sarper stayed in Turkey. They tried long distance but it wasn't working. Time zones, miscommunication and mistrust were eating away at their bond. She was exhausted, said another close source. She felt like she was always proving herself to him. Her loyalty. Her decisions. Her lifestyle. Sarper, on the other hand, reportedly felt abandoned. He believed Shekinah was putting her career, friends and daughter before their relationship. They attempted counseling. Twice. But every session ended in finger-pointing. She said he was emotionally manipulative, the source added. He said she was selfish. The foundation had cracked and there was no fixing it. On August 5th, Shekinah posted a short but emotional message on her Instagram. After deep reflection and countless attempts at reconciliation, Sarper and I have decided to part ways. This decision was not made lightly. I will always cherish the love we shared, but I must now prioritize my peace. Thank you to those who supported us throughout this journey. Just hours later, Sarper posted a black and white photo of the two holding hands, taken during happier times. Sometimes love is not enough. Wishing you peace always. And just like that, it was official. 90 Day Fiancé fans around the globe reacted instantly. The Reddit threads exploded. YouTube channels analyzed every line of their statements. Instagram was flooded with mixed reactions. Some mourned, some said, "Finally." "She deserved better," one fan wrote. "She tried so hard to make it work." Another posted, "I actually think they loved each other deeply. But it just became too toxic." Shekinah was spotted shortly after the announcement, grabbing coffee with her daughter in Los Angeles. She looked tired but calm. Sources close to her said she was focusing on healing and diving deeper into her spiritual journey. She resumed her life coaching business, launched a podcast titled Healing in Chaos, and even held a women's retreat in Sedona. "Shekinah is finding herself again," said Angela. "She lost parts of herself in that relationship. Now she's reclaiming them." Sarper, on the other hand, went silent. He deactivated his Instagram for several days, then returned with fitness-focused content. Gone were the couple selfies and romantic captions. In their place, gym routines, protein smoothies and motivational quotes about moving on. His followers noticed the shift. Some commented words of support, others questioned his sincerity. "He always acted like he was the victim," one person said. But Shekinah took the high road. Weeks after the news, Shekinah sat down for an exclusive interview on a popular YouTube show. Calm, poised, and honest, she finally shared the truth. "People ask why we split," she said. "It wasn't just one thing. It was everything. The way we argued, the lack of trust, the emotional toll. I tried, he tried, but we were both broken." She continued, "He wanted me to fit into a mold. I couldn't do that. And honestly, I wouldn't want him to either. He should be with someone who loves that version of him. But that wasn't me." The interviewer asked the big question. Was there love? "Yes," she answered without hesitation. "Deep love. That's what made it so painful." As tears welled in her eyes, she added, "But love isn't enough if it's hurting you." It was raw, vulnerable, authentic. A week later, Sarper broke his silence in a Turkish tabloid interview. "I loved Shekinah," he admitted. "Still do. But we were fire. And fire can burn everything if you're not careful." He denied allegations of control and said his intentions were always rooted in concern. "I didn't want to change her," he said. "I just wanted us to align. Maybe I went about it the wrong way. I'm still learning." He concluded, "I wish her happiness. I will always remember her as the woman who taught me how to feel again." Their divorce became more than a headline. It became a lesson. Couples around the world who had followed their journey reflected on their own relationships. People wrote blog posts, TikTok tributes, and discussion threads. "Shekinah showed us that you can walk away from someone you love if they're not right for you," one fan wrote. "That's strength." Others praised Sarper for acknowledging his faults, even if it was too late. "Shekinah and Sarper were a mirror," a therapist said on a podcast. "They reminded us that intensity doesn't equal health. That passion isn't always peace." Months passed. Shekinah launched a new spiritual coaching program for women healing from toxic relationships. Her first retreat sold out in hours. She posted frequently about meditation, empowerment, and moving forward. She even hinted at a possible book, From Fire to Freedom: My Journey Through Love and Letting Go. Sarper remained more private but continued to build his brand in the fitness world. Rumors swirled about a new woman in his life, but nothing was confirmed. They had gone their separate ways, quietly, gracefully, and forever changed. Shekinah posted a quote on Instagram: "A relationship that ends is not a failure if it helped you grow." That message resonated across the 90-Day Fiancé fandom. Their story wasn't about failure. It was about transformation. Shekinah and Sarper may not have had the fairy tale ending, but they had a real one. And sometimes that's even more powerful. They loved deeply. They fought fiercely. And in the end they let go with dignity. 90-Day. Sarper is put in the hot seat when a woman from his past returns with a shocking bombshell. Shekinah tells host Sean Robinson she had never heard of Dee Dee before, and grills the American woman about her past with Sarper in People's exclusive look at part 1 of the tell-all. Sarper is getting grilled about another woman from his past. In an exclusive sneak peek of the November 18th episode of 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Sarper is in the United States for the Season 6 tell-all, where he and Shekinah come face-to-face with yet another woman from his past. Host Sean Robinson introduces the cast to Dee Dee, an American therapist whom Sarper met 3 years prior on a dating site, the same way Sarper met Shekinah. Sarper is visibly shaken after seeing Dee Dee on screen, and Shekinah does not appear pleased to be discussing Sarper's past yet again. "Have you ever heard of Dee Dee?" Sean asks Shekinah, who admits, "No, I haven't." Shekinah has questions of her own. She first asks Dee Dee how well she knows Sarper, but is not thrilled when her fiancé's former fling says, "I consider us friends." "Sarper doesn't have any friends that are females, so you're not friends, honey," Shekinah says. She then turns to Sarper and asks, "Is that your friend?" Sarper denies having a friendship with Dee Dee, and claims he was only with her one time in the past. That one night with Sarper, according to Dee Dee, was a fun time. "I went to his apartment, we drank, and we hung out," she tells the group. But Dee Dee had even more tea to spill. She and Sarper stayed in touch for years after the initial encounter. What's more, she claims to have remained in contact with Sarper until November of the previous year. Did Sarper mention he was dating Shekinah while communicating with Dee Dee? And how will Shekinah react to the latest revelation? Fans will have to tune in to the November 18th episode to find out. 90-Day. Sarper compares Shekinah to someone who is homeless after she wakes up from nose job. 90 Days Sarper is stepping up to the plate after Shekinah gets out of surgery. In People's exclusive clip from the October 14th episode of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Shekinah finally gets her rhinoplasty in Turkey, hoping Sarper can care for her post-op. But that doesn't come without Sarper's unfiltered commentary as he compares his partner to a homeless person in her vulnerable state. After she is wheeled out of the operating room, Sarper immediately comes to her side and Shekinah calls him my love. "Why did you do that yourself, baby?" He looks down at her and asks. "For beauty, huh?" Leaning down to hold her hand, Sarper reaffirms Shekinah. "You look gorgeous like this too. You can stay like this. I still love you. I will take care of you," he adds. In his confessional, Sarper acknowledges how vulnerable Shekinah appears to be while coming off the anesthesia with her face all wrapped up. "He looks like he's homeless," he tells cameras of his honest reaction. "I mean, with no makeup, recovery surgery, bandage casts everywhere." Despite the intensity of the situation, Sarper reveals he is confident they will get through the recovery process together smoothly. "I can do it," he declares. "I'm the perfect nurse." While Shekinah lays with an ice pack over her head unable to move, Sarper feeds her and gets her juice so she can have sugar per doctor's orders. After he embraces her, the two go for a walk around the hospital while Sarper holds Shekinah around his arm. "Seeing this side of him just is a reminder that we do have something really special," she tells the cameras. "I think that we've come a long way and I'm gonna get emotional. I'm just proud of him." "One more step, babe," Sarper tells Shekinah in the halls outside her room. "Baby steps, like me," he goes on to joke. "I'm making baby steps for you. What do you say? Small by small." Shekinah laughs before Sarper affirms, "Small by small." Admitting that Sarper is really impressing me, Shekinah tears up reflecting on the trials and tribulations of their past while Sarper prepares for them to go to sleep. "There's been really hard times and not everything was easy, but he's doing great and I'm proud of us," she concludes. The sentimental moment comes after Shekinah admitted she was unsure of Sarper's ability to care for her in her post-op state, primarily because he wanted her to cancel her nose job after learning they could not have sex for a month. "After surgery, I'm not going to be my usual self," she said in last week's episode. "I'm not going to be serving Sarper. I'm not going to be entertaining him. I'm not going to be bubbly and happy. I'm going to be in pain. So I look at spending my recovery with Sarper as a test. I really hope that he can step up because it's going to determine whether or not this is somebody that I can live the rest of my life with." But Sarper was up for the challenge even with the forced abstinence. "Right now, our relationship is on eggshells and I want to show that I will be always with her, but I never in my life looked after anyone, so it will be difficult." 90 Days Sarper questions Shekinah's trust issues after admitting he slept with nearly 3,000 women, including 4.5 per day. 90 Day Fiancés Shekinah and Sarper are back for another try at being together on the new season of The Other Way. In the season premiere on Monday, July 1st, Shekinah revealed she would be moving to Turkey for a second time to live with Sarper after returning to the United States 3 months prior. Now that the couple have spent time apart, Shekinah was worried about Sarper's whereabouts because of his F-boy reputation. "When I ask Sarper where he is or what he's doing, he gets so defensive, so upset," she explained. "He'll go as far as breaking up with me and like 10 minutes later he's crying and saying that we can never be apart." Shekinah said she has concerns that Sarper, who calls her my Barbie, will never change given that he is in his 40s and has never been in a serious relationship. While he insists he is better at communicating in person, Shekinah remains skeptical. She even said she has been doing a lot of hand-holding to teach him how to be in a relationship. "About a month before I moved to Turkey, Sarper told me that he had slept with over 2,500 women," she revealed. "At the time I thought that it was a typo. 250 was still a lot to me, but I was willing to let it slide. But he actually responded saying it's between 2,500 and 3,000. Sarper insisted he has remained 110% faithful to Shekinah, but told her she was too possessive over him. "If I don't text you back for a while, you are kind of a bitch," he said over their video call. Later in the episode, Sarper opened up about how he has changed and strayed away from his former reputation. He admitted that he used to have sex with 4.5 women a day, but said Shekinah is all he thinks about now. I understand she has trust issues. I have been with many women and I am the worst resume guy on the planet, he admitted. But I changed so much for her, but she still wants more. Sarper also said the rules Shekinah set for him has led to his financial situation becoming increasingly worse. Before Shekinah, I was doing financially good as a personal trainer, he explained. But Shekinah was so insistent about me leaving the female clients, and 90% of my clients are females. So from my income 90% is cut right now. He added, I have no savings left. Sarper had his own list of rules for Shekinah too. One of them was that she can't be part of the LA scene, because he was worried she would be with other men. Going out to events and stuff has been an issue for us, so I stopped doing it, she said, adding that he has tried breaking up with me a bunch of times. While talking to friends, Shekinah revealed that her typical day consists of working out before the two have sex like 4 times. One thing she does have planned for when she touches down in Turkey: a nose job. Sarper has actually designed a new nose for me, she shared. He says, I'll tell the doctor what to do, I know what you need. And I said, I trust you, because I do. This caused concern from her friends, who said they think Shekinah is rushing into the relationship too quickly. I think because she's so in tune to that thought that he's the one that she goes with the flow because it makes it easier, one friend told cameras. It's just terrifying, said the other.